Nothing else. What else is on the docket?
We all warmed up. Let's get it.
Yes, CHH First Hip Hop Business Dealings. Look,
Lord.
last week's show, make sure to go back and check that out, like and subscribe and whatnot. We started talking about some of the messy things that happens in Christian hip hop. And that's actually me and Trish were probably talking about this. And she was talking about how messy it is. And I was like, yeah, but the music industry as a whole is messy. And she agreed. But at the same time, she definitely agreed that there was probably more professionalism in the mainstream because there's more money to be dealt, more contracts being signed or whatever, which salutes. But man, the music industry is messy. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of just wanted to talk about CHH First Hip Hop Business Dealings. What is messier? And what which one you think is messier? I mean, if you've been able to dip your hand in a little bit of both, which one do you think is messier? I'm actually going to start off with Trish on this one. Trish, what you think?
Let me pour me a drink for this.
I mean, I can't definitively say which is messier, but I can definitively say that both are messy.
Oh, for sure.
And that, I think for Christian hip hop, because it's so small, anything messy that transpires or something that happens, I don't want to say messy, but just like it's something unprofessional. Like if you had an unprofessional interaction with somebody who's like in the top, whatever you want to call it, like they are part of a label or they're part of a major brand like Rapzilla or something, like that information gets out, you know what I'm saying? And so because we're so small, you kind of
Boo. Boo. Boo.
Yo, the internet is so whack. So we are going to let Trish rebound off of that. I can't even laugh because that used to be me. And it seems like Brina and Seagoss always have the good internet. And me and Trish is always on the suspect joint. I found out what my issue was. I made the proper upgrades, and now I'm good. I ain't had no issues. Right?
That's true.
The day. Indeed.
That's true.
I had no issues since then. But anyway, Trish is now the one that could have the suspect internet. Let's go ahead and flip that over to Seagoss. Seagoss.
Listen, let me talk this business talk to y'all. All right, so boom, right? So CHH, as my man quote always says, it needs structure. It needs people that are solely dedicated to pushing for the structure as well as pushing for the business part of it. So I recently was hired to hire some other artists for a Bible app project that they're coming out with next year, right? So with that, I'm talking who I'm thinking are managers, who I'm thinking are A&Rs, who I'm thinking are people that are part of, trying to get stuff together. And some of it was, but then a lot of it was like, oh, go talk to my homie real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody playing like a manager, somebody playing like an A&R, somebody playing like a publicist. I can think when we was booking, when WLAK was out, and I was trying to book Alex Faith and them and all them. Yo, shout out to Alex Faith. I ain't mention his name in a minute. But
he took a stage left on
that's still my man. Still my man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
So like Alex was the quote unquote business manager for WLAK. And like I was talking to Alex and like, and I feel like on the CHH side of things, we just not organized as we would want to be. Quote always complains about a certain label who shall remain nameless. And he always he swears that this label doesn't have it together and that actually they're not a label anymore, but they had some really good artists, some really good creatives, and they just could not get their business side together So
Well, the fact
therefore,
that they're not a label anymore, whoever we're talking about is
right. And like, if they would have stayed, if they would have had somebody say, "Hey, y'all do the creative stuff, I'll take care of this stuff," they probably would have been like Rockefeller right now, because they had some fire stuff. So it's just going back to, and then we've heard the stories from Trish, we've heard the stories from Quote. Obviously, got some little bit of stories. Bree might got some too. So where business is just trash when it comes to CHH, and a lot of it, I feel like, is because when you're only charging $2,000 or $3,000 for a concert and you don't show up, what's the promoter gonna do? Sue you for $2,000? It costs that much just to file the suit. So it's like they don't even take it seriously. You know what I'm saying? So now going back to Trisha's point about there's so much more money dealing with the business side of the industry that they will sue you for missing a concert because you didn't cost them tickets, you didn't cost them. You probably didn't pay Lil Durk $120,000, and you know that's some bread. That's some real money that you can go to court for. So it's interesting because although we are small in the community and we're not that big, it's still something that we need to take seriously. And a lot of times I think we don't, because we feel like, one, we use the Jesus pass and we're like, oh, they're Christians. They'll handle their business because they're Christians. And it's like, bro, sign this paper. You know what I'm saying? Well, welcome back, Trish. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And then the other side of it is that I don't think sometimes the artists take the business side as serious, because they're like, well, I'm just an artist. I don't gotta take care of my business, right? So they're like just one track minded about what they want to do. So yeah, I don't know. That's that's feeling. But I don't know what you think. You've been on the business side a few times.
Man, for one, I want to go ahead and quickly go back to Trish, and get her to be able to finish up on what she was saying before her internet do what it do again.
Trish, if your internet goes out, you will get booed.
It ain't me, Trish.
I can't believe that happened. I'm like, what is happening?
Did you hear me booing you?
The devil was mad. That's all.
Go ahead, Trish.
Did you hear me booing you? Did you hear me booing you?
No. Yo, so I really was just trying to say, like, you know, I think that because there isn't a lot of like accountability in CHH, people just be doing whatever and getting away with it. And, you know, they think they're getting away with it. I think because I feel like as Christians, maybe people feel like, well, nobody gonna say nothing because they're gonna be gracious and they're gonna extend grace and they're gonna, you know, not really say anything. But it's like, nah, like maybe people don't say anything back to them, but it definitely gets out, and people will avoid. Like, they may not say anything directly to the people, but people will avoid because of their, you know, weird unprofessional dealings with other people. You know what I'm saying? So my one thing I would love to encourage people who are, you know, working in the background, or, you know, they have some kind of like influence behind the scenes, I would recommend that you do your best to be as professional as you possibly can be, because if you are not, me or somebody else is gonna find out about it. I find out about everything. I don't know. I literally, I know it sounds like an exaggeration, but people literally like divulge what be happening. Or they'll come to me.
It's so small. We all do. You're right.
Yeah. Or they'll come to me and ask me about such and such. Like, what you think about such and such? Like, you think I should work with them? And they're going to value my opinion. So because I try, and I'm not perfect, I'm not here to say that I'm perfect, but I try my hardest to go out of my way to make sure that I'm doing things in excellence. So if there's an issue, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna clear it up. You know what I'm saying? Some people have issues, and they're like, oh, I don't care. I literally, like Christians, I don't care. Forget it. They can feel whatever way they want to feel, and it just is that, and that's problematic. You know what I'm saying? It's not a form of godliness. It's very anti-God, and, you know, like it's just poor. It's just a poor way of working. You know, your standards are low, and you know, we don't look different than anybody else when we do stuff like that. So
now, Trish, do you think that those same the same people that are on the business side of CHH, if they had the opportunity to work for mainstream, that they would act the same way as far as how they treat their business?
No, not at all. I don't think so.
Okay. Now do you think it has to do with the I mean, because I don't want to say corrupt, but both businesses.
The internet messing up, Corey.
Seagulls.
No, it's not.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't. That's a lie.
Oh, it did. Ain't no lie. It did. No lies over here.
It's a lie from the pit of hell.
Yeah.
It's a lie from the pit of hell.
You better use that light skin magic.
Hilarious.
Go ahead.
So why do you think they would take that more seriously than taking a CHH business as seriously?
Because it's they hold the hip hop industry to a different standard. Like, it's like, oh, well, you know, anybody in the mainstream, right, is more legitimate because I think because of the money, because of the clout, you know what I'm saying? So they deem that as more legitimate than Christian hip hop, which is so sad because they're a part of the problem. You are a part of the problem if you are not, you know, holding like creating your own standard or living by the standard that God has given us. If you're not living by that standard, and then you're like lowering our standards, so it just doesn't help the situation. Like, we already don't have respect for CHH, so why like diminish it? You know what I'm saying? Like, they have every responsibility to go above and beyond.
Good question. Good question, Seagrass. I think, like Trish said, I think it's the bigger bag, and then I think it's, I think we're looking at expectations a lot of times. I mean, because bad business happens all the time, but I think when certain expectations aren't met, that's when really you have an issue, and that's in any situation. But I think one thing we have to admit is that when it comes to Christian things, the expectations be all the way up here.
Absolutely.
On how people act. You know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. I would never expect that this person would be a not even dirty, but shrewd business person because he's a Christian. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. The expectations be up there like crazy. But I'm gonna jump in here and then I'm gonna take it to Bree. Listen, I still, like I said, going back, I believe the hip hop dealings mainstream is definitely way messier than CHH. And we're seeing that, of course, even with the whole
Karen Civil.
Yeah, the whole Karen Civil, Jason Lee, the whole just Joyner Lucas, the way all this stuff, you know, is coming out with all this information and whatnot. But this is nothing new. This has always been the music industry, right? Like, I remember talking to a lot of different cats back in the day and artists who were like, you would look at an artist who was so talented and had all the right connections and was making moves and be like, yo, just why have you not popped? And they was like, and they tell you straight up, they be like, look, man, I just ain't kissed the ring. Like they said that if I wanted to deal, all I had to do was go see Clive Davis. And if I got on my knees and everything would be just fine. And the contracts would get signed. Messy. People just be sleeping with people like crazy. I mean, of course, because that's mainstream. Messy. Right. I remember we had we did an event, me and my dude Q years ago.
Shout out to Q.
Yeah. We
Blockheads.
It's been a minute since I talked to Q for real.
Y'all know nothing about that. That's VA stuff.
Yeah, that's VA stuff. But we brought in what was 50 Cent's DJ?
Who Kid?
Who Kid? We brought down Who Kid, right?
That whole thing was a sham. It was a sham. But go ahead.
Was it a sham?
I don't know. I just felt like it was a sham. But go ahead.
We brought down Who Kid. We had a talent show. Who Kid was one of the judges. Whatever the case may be. We had a lot of people come through, or whatever the case may be, with clout in the area. Who was Lupe's boy that was in the area for a long time in VA in the 7 cities?
I ain't know Lupe had a boy in 757.
Yeah. No, it was not Lupe's. I'm tripping. It was Nas's. He had a joint with Nas.
Quan.
I can't think of his Quan. Yeah, Quan came through. Quan swatted some drama. I had to squash that. But Who Kid and his Salt and Pepper was in town the same night. So it's just, it gets messy, right? Because then Who Kid, after the show, he's telling us stories when we take him to the airport in Richmond about what went on with Pepper the night before, and it just gets crazy, right? It's just get crazy. And then, you know, cats just be talking, so you never know whether or not to believe them or not. But it's just, it's so much nonsense. And so the reason why I think we in the CHH space, while we might say we messy, and we are, we can't be as well, it's the music industry, right? But I think also because there's a standard, there's such an expectation. It's like, I would never expect that these cats would do that, or whatever the case may be. But cat artists have to be careful about who is representing them. You can't just get your boy to represent you. I never forget, I went to book a very popular, am I gonna say the name? A very popular female MC in Christian hip hop. And we end up booking her. Show was great, beautiful, whatever the case may be. And I think you liked the gentleman that was representing her at the time. I wasn't really feeling him, Goss. But what was sad to me, or what pissed me off about the situation, and I'm like, yo, this person is on the come up, and she about to do real big things. And a joker like you, because I got to deal with you, you could mess her up. You feel what I'm saying?
Pissed.
I was like, yo, you could mess it up for this girl, and she doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? And
that's true.
God, she changed management, she got signed, and all was good going forward after that. But I was like, dude, I need you to get your stuff together if you're going to be represented, especially females. You know what I mean? Like, take care. I mean, because it's already hard enough for them. And a joker like you be done messed up her opportunity.
Yeah.
Now quote. Yep. So going back to the business side of it, right? I think it's messy because there's no kind of there's no kind of measuring. Well, there is, but there's not at the same time. It's not a guarantee, right? If anything that you do. So the Karen Civil Joyner Lucas situation was like, yo, I gave you 60 grand to promote me and to do what you gotta do, right? So I've had an opportunity like that. It wasn't 60 grand. But it was, yo, here's some thousands of dollars. I need you to make this happen for me. Now listen.
But what do I always tell you? Go ahead. But
now listen.
Tell you certain
things. I can take that money, and I did take this money, and I did my best to make something pop, but it just didn't pop. Right? Now listen. I did my job though. So here's the thing. I did my job. But it just wasn't, it just didn't, I don't know, it just wasn't, it didn't catch, right? So you're not paying the person because this thing guarantee you, I can get you to the top, pay me 60 grand. You're paying for your opportunity for the person that can shake the hand that you can't shake. So you feel me? So I'm not totally mad at Karen because I'm not sure what.
Well, here's the thing though. Here's a couple things though. For one, I always let you know. I'm always, because me and you have these conversations, right?
We do. I call quote every time I get a deal. Listen, quote, someone's getting $5,000.
And I'd be like, my first thing is, for one, hey, listen, you have to let them know there are no guarantees. First and foremost, let them know there are no guarantees. You also have to push back onto them about what you would think best. So if they give you a whack track and they want you to promote this whack track, I need you to say to them, hey, look, this is a whack track. I'm going to promote the heck out of it, but it's a whack track. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. To be as honest with them. Third thing, and I don't think me and you get into this as much because it is a little bit smaller dealings, but itemized lists are very important.
First of all,
itemized lists.
Listen.
We are going to send out timelines. Timelines are very important. Listen. We are going to send out this many emails. We are going to contact this many program managers, stations, bloggers, websites. We are going to put as much numbers as you can. Right. That way, I can say, I checked this off the list. This is what I told you I was going to do. I was going to contact this many. I checked that off. I was going to do this. Anything that I can put a number to, and you can't put a number to everything.
Right.
Everything that I can put a number to, I'm putting a number to.
Right.
Because I have to, because the music industry is nobody knows what's going to hit or whatever. But I am, like Seagoss just said, I'm going to shake some hands that you can't shake. I'm going to make some introductions. I got some relationships that you don't have.
Right.
But this is what I'm going to do. The rest is up to God in the track. You know what I mean?
That part.
And ultimately up to God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna work. But when I check these lists off, hey, we reached out to this many people. We told this many things. We raised any analytics we got. We raised you were at this percentage. We now raised your then to this percentage. We said, any numbers that you can do, you want to put into.
But here's my question,
though. That's good business. Yeah.
But here's my question, Bree. I swear I'm gonna let you talk next, Bree. I promise. But here's my question, right? If someone, my business is to promote your event, your record, your whatever you got, right? Boom. You bring me a product that I know is not going to sell, is not going to be good because I've been in the game for a minute. Do I tell that person this is not going to work based off my experience? Or do I tell them, all right, cool, yes, I will do my job. I will promote it. I will do what I told you that I would do. But knowing that thing is not going to work.
So again, itemized list. This is why itemized lists are important. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this.
That's what I'm saying. Like after I tell them.
But again, I think also because I think we've had this conversation before as well. And if I remember one of these events that somebody wanted you to promote, you actually went back to them, if I remember right, and actually told them, "Hey, look, I don't see this doing what you want it to do.
I did.
But I got you. And I'm going to help you push this joint." You know what I'm saying? You gave that disclaimer, whatever the case may be.
I did.
Yeah, so that's, consulting is a weird thing. You know what I mean? Promotions is a weird thing. There's no guarantees in this. But, so as much as I can put numbers to, I'm trying to put numbers to so I can check certain things off the list. But also I want to be honest with you. Either I think this is a beautiful track and I think you have good opportunity and I'm here with you, or to be honest with you, man, I'm just really not feeling the track. I will rock with you.
Yeah.
This ain't normally what I do, but I will rock with you on it. Let's see where this journey takes us. But I'm really not, I don't think this, as a program manager, I used to get this all the day, especially back in the day when a certain word was popular amongst radio. That word you can't say anymore because it's theoretically illegal. But I would be like, look, I don't believe this fits my format. And I think you need to go back and work on it. Or now you bring me something else. Look, I don't think, okay, all right, listen, so we're going to put this in rotation. Let's see what it does.
Yeah.
Listen, Quote played all my records. Shout out to Quote. He played all my Deaf Gospel records. You heard?
That's a good thing.
So that's just, that's what the game is. I think the only thing that makes CHH worse is the expectation and not even maybe even the lack of professionalism that sometimes you can see in both realms. You know what I mean? I think it's the expectation. This is Christian. Like I know somebody who just did something from a business standpoint, who I'm not going to say the name, but two Christian entities, and basically dude brought other dude on to help him with his business. But the dude that brought him on then started slacking and detracting from even the people who were helping the team that the guy had to help push the business, to eventually my dude this other dude that the one who didn't own the business ends up contractually taking the business from this guy and now running it for himself. And when I looked at it, when he really broke it down to me, I was like, business-wise, you did your dang thing. You were shrewd. You didn't do anything illegal. You didn't do whatever the case may be. He paperwork was signed. Everything was everything. And the other person slacked off. And so from a business standpoint, you took the business over and now it's your business. Whether or not people know it, it's your business now. And I was like, okay, thanks for that heads up. I didn't feel, I felt like he was being shrewd, not cruel. Especially with certain details came out about how things were being handled. You know what I mean? And how the person who originally was owning the business, how he started really messing things up. So the other dude was just like, "Oh yeah, you don't have your paperwork? Yeah, just give me that. Give me that. You don't got your paperwork yet anyway."
Wow.
Man.
And that's business.
Sorry. Go ahead, Bree. I just had.
No, I mean, I'm just gonna say, like, that still comes back to professionalism, though, right? Like, because we're Christians, we're gonna have that label. Like, people are gonna expect integrity from us, period. Right? Because they're like, oh, okay, well, these people, they're not gonna lie, they're gonna be upright, they're always gonna tell the truth, they're gonna do everything the right way. Like, that's the expectation.
Right.
But then the other business side of things, just like you just said, like, the guy didn't have his paperwork in order. Like, there a lack of knowledge in, business dealings, like that's the other piece of it. And I mean, I'm just saying, like you can tell when you're talking to somebody, like, if they know what they're doing, if they're following the proper, procedures. Just like, like if you're going to be working with somebody, like in accounting, we sit down with a client and I'll give you like the contract and I'm going to define my deliverable. So at the end of this whole thing, you know exactly what I'm going to do. And you're paying me to deliver an audit, to do a tax return, like anything. Yeah. So it's like, there's no question legally as to whether or not I did my job, but people don't do that. It's like, there's a lot of undefined expectations. And I think that's where we get into these issues.
One last word, and this happens amongst artists a lot, but not even just artists, just creatives in general, probably. A nice little word, well, maybe even just do millennials. We're all millennials on this joint. I think I'm the first of the millennials because I'm older, but and so you even see this in millennials and maybe even Gen Z coming up. There's a certain word we like to call entitlement.
We're definitely entitled.
Maybe in the CHH space more than we see in regular hip hop, where we think we are entitled to certain things. And I'm like, dude, you are not swinging the pendulum that hard for you to think you are entitled to something. So I mean, just let business be business. In my opinion, creatives if you're not an admin, managerial, if you don't have those skills and you're a creative, by the grace of God, I'm low-key a creative and I've got those skills. But if you are a true fold artist, that's just who you are and what you want to do. And if you let you know who a true fold artist is, you're the kind of person that doesn't want to be boxed in. Don't box me in. You're an artist.
Right.
And if you are that person, you need to find proper representation and make sure that these are people that will take care of you to the best of your abilities, whatever the case may be. And, I've got a rule. I think I was talking to Trish about this. I got a rule. Burn me once. Burn me once. Same. Everybody gets a good chance to burn, quote, a good one time. Everybody, I say mostly everybody, because I'm gonna do my research on you. Right. I'm gonna make a phone call or two, whatever the case may be. But you're gonna burn me one good time, and I'm gonna be like, yo, you got me. I ain't even gonna be mad. Never gonna work with you again, though. Never. Ooh. You got one time to really burn me. Yeah. One time.
Some people I ain't even gonna give you the opportunity to burn me. I already know what it's about, and I'm good.
Trisha said, "Listen to me."
I hear you. I mean, I could go over. I mean, and I've been burnt, but like I said, the person I had one time, I can name a name right now that everybody knows who got me good and got some other people as well. But everybody loves this person and thinks the world of this person, and I'm like, anyway. Christian hip hop and business is a weird thing because we put other stuff into it that's not supposed to be into it. I'll use the same thing that I've used before, and I will drop this name because I've done it before. So I'll say it one time because I've dropped this name, then I had to make a phone call. Hey, I just dropped your name in something, so whatever the case may be. Sometimes we just get upset because business is being handled. I never forget, I was managing an artist and Sean Slaughter wanted this artist. And I was managing the artist. And me and Sean got to dealing with some stuff and he wanted some things to be a certain way and the artist wanted to be a certain way. And I'm the manager of the artist, so I'm looking at Sean like, look, we can sign or we can not sign, dude, but the artist wants this. You know what I'm saying? And I think the world of Sean. Let me Sean helped me get carpet in my new house within the last 3 months. I think the world of Sean. Sean has always been up straight. But one of the issues that I had as a young businessman in Virginia is we always had an influx of New Yorkers that would come to VA. And they always wanted me on their squad because of what I did in the city or whatever the case may be. But whenever I was in a business negotiation, this is some insecurity that I had with a New Yorker. I would hear that New York twang and it would make me, I would buff up. I was like, a New Yorker will not run me. Now, Sean, to his own, he's from New York. So he's got that twang. So my insecurities and things would start to rise up. And I'm like, and now nobody is backing down. And our negotiations not happening. This is Seagrass, you'll know Triumph was supposed to be signed to Sean, to Slaughterhouse.
Oh, word. Okay.
Never happened because Triumph wanted something that I couldn't get Sean to agree to in order for the signing to go through.
Yeah.
So that's what that. Again, shouts out to Sean Slaughter. This is just telling you a story how we had business dealings, but I don't think it ever changed the esteem I had for the individual. Business-wise, it just didn't work out.
Yeah,
it didn't work out business-wise. That don't mean I crap on Slaughter.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Everything he's always kept it above board in my book. He ain't ever treated nobody bad in my book. So just because we had a business dealing that didn't go the way I wanted to, I don't get entitled. I don't get all touchy-feely and personal. I say, hey, that was business.
Yeah.
That was business, and it just didn't rock out.
Some people don't know how to, separate.
Those are the people that don't need to be negotiating.
Absolutely. I agree.
So
people need training. Right. People need training. I'll say that. But Christians need training in business in general because you don't know what you don't know. And you can't really, it's like you can't be mad at somebody who just is ignorant, like Bree was saying. So that's where I like what I do in my business. Like I'm very, very much so about developing and educating people on like how to do a thing. If you're an artist, you're creative, you're trying to figure out how to like maneuver, like we're gonna teach you because you out here, you need to know. Just like somebody was saying with Karen Civil and the Joyner Lucas thing, it's like Joyner Lucas could have definitely also been more, whatever. He could have been more adamant about, making sure his manager had some things in order or making sure certain things were like in line, like we said, itemized, the deliverables and all that.
This just in.
Swoop, what did he say?
He gonna be on the
for that.
Yeah, boy.
So funny.
so listen. But also with that Joyner Lucas joint, he was saying that. Well, he was saying, everybody got two sides to the story, right?
Yeah, for sure.
He was saying,
I believe Joyner.
That money. I believe Joyner too. After they paid that money, they couldn't get her on the phone no more.
And that's true. That was true. I forgot about that part. Which is that's crazy.
That's wild, bro. 60K?
Like,
and I can't get you on the phone?
Nope.
Now look. Now quote. Me, you, and emceenice was talking, and there's a very popular in the CHH industry who acts the same way. Very popular.
My thing about that, and I talked to Nice about this, and Nice did say that. You're right. But Nice did say that. But we have talked about this before because there's only a few that people know.
Thinking, Trisha.
You already know. My head is like,
yeah, that one.
Everybody knows who you're talking about at this point,
right? Have to spill the tea.
So, well, yeah. So. No. But so he was saying that he really couldn't get on the phone.
After he didn't pay artists.
That he couldn't, everything was done through email and he really couldn't get phone. He did say that. My dealings in my opinion, would be totally different. I ain't ever not been able to get phone or via text or communication has always been excellent to me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, that's peculiar to me, bro, because I ain't ever had no issues, and you come in swinging a bigger stick than I do. I don't know what's going on.
Now, I could be the tiebreaker because although I was able to get emails, it was a thing of hey, if you want to call me, email me, and then we'll schedule a phone call. But don't just call me out the blue.
Now that's legit though. That ain't
Is it?
People
Absolutely.
heck
Listen,
yeah.
Okay.
People got schedules. People got schedules. People got schedules. Yeah.
Especially with me. These kids and the husband, you can't just be calling my phone and expect me to answer. You want to schedule that.
Yeah, we need to schedule that. Yeah.
Okay.
We need to schedule phone calls for sure. I mean, when you get to a certain level of business and certain things, you need to schedule something. And some of it is business, and then some of it is just like Trish said. No, I don't have a meeting at 2:00. I got to pick up my daughter from school at 2:00. Dag nabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel what I'm saying?
That's true.
So yes, yeah. But you're right. He said he wasn't able to phone for whatever reason. I didn't understand why that would be because I ain't ever had them issues with that individual ever.
Okay.
I needed them. They looked out. You know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. And so, but again,
but you be, I don't know, quote, because you be, for lack of better word, kissing booty, man. You be out here, I don't know, quote. Like, we be trying to keep it straight business. You be trying to get these cats extra stuff. So, you know what I'm saying?
I look out. The way you look out for artists is the way I look out for behind the scenes people.
I don't look out for artists. Do I?
You feel that way, really?
I don't think I do. I be like, yo, give them this. What you mean? They can't. I feel like you be looking out for the artists more than I do.
I'll look out for artists a little bit more if they belong to certain behind the scenes people because I'm looking out for the behind the scenes people.
The Bible declares the sin of partiality. You can't be treating one person better than the other person. You sinning, quote.
Okay. Again, we're not talking about treatment, all right? We ain't ever treated nobody bad. We don't do that.
Not bad, no. You know but we treat people better than other people.
But I might treat somebody a little bit better or just, and when I say treat better, I'm saying if they ask for something, I might be like, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it. Don't even, we got you. You know what I mean? I might pull one of them.
Trish, quote be blowing me, bro. Trish, listen.
Trish, who your people is. But that's just me. That's me looking out for people behind the scenes.
Quote be out here trying to give them the world, bro.
People behind the scenes. Who is more like, really? You think I'm more likely to give people the world than you are?
Wait,
yes,
who
absolutely.
Fly MC Nice out. Didn't you say that?
I'm the stingy one. You're the one that normally be trying to give people the world.
You was the one that said it. Wasn't you said that? Your idea?
No, me flying MC Nice out for sure, because I think it'd be a good look. But I'm saying quote would be like, yo, when y'all get here, like, we'll treat like I'm trying to think some extra stuff quote be doing or trying to do. Like you be making sure artists that stay on the up and up as if them paying you thousands of dollars to be here isn't enough. Like I feel like you be trying to give them the extra stuff when they get here.
So what that is about is simple. The Christian hip hop world is too small. So when you come to Domination or when you come to one of our events, we gonna take care of you because you ain't gonna go back and badmouth us.
Facts. I get that.
Yeah,
totally.
That makes sense. Yeah,
you ain't gonna go back and badmouth us.
I just don't get it.
Let you.
I'm paying you thousands of dollars to be here already. You shouldn't want too much.
No. I mean, and I feel you. But who has really asked us for too much? We don't. I mean, to be honest with you, let's be real. We don't.
We'll talk about that after the show. Who asked for a lot?
Okay. I mean, because let's be real. We don't even really be checking for cats riders like that, do we?
We don't. We definitely don't.
Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna take care of you.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
I'm gonna take care of you.
I could totally understand that. I'm the same way. Any show that I've ever done, I definitely go above and beyond, like more than most people would do. And I think that just shows like how much you appreciate, the people for even coming. Like, yeah, maybe I paid you a stack or whatever, but it's like on top of that, you're gonna get this hospitality. And you ain't gonna never go nowhere and tell nobody that I mistreated you or this show went wrong. That ain't happening. So I get it. Totally.
Okay. Nobody ever came to one of our events and had to worry about food, whether that was in the contract or not. We don't have people. Okay, so this is another example, right? Like we don't have people where we don't give them. The contract is an all-in contract.
Yeah.
All in. We done paid you your money for real. It's your job to take
We don't
care of
gotta do
everything
nothing.
else. We ain't got to
Right.
do nothing else for you.
Right.
But we still make sure those people eat, amongst many other things, because that's you in our
Trish,
home.
Trish, your man Loso, something happened to his flight. And this dude took a flight and got to Virginia an hour and a half from where the venue was supposed to be at because he went to the other airport, right? So he caught an Uber 2 hours away to get to Richmond. And Quote was like, yo, let's pay for the Uber.
So hold on. Did we pay for his full Uber or we paid for half the Uber?
I didn't want to pay for none of it because I felt like it was his fault as far as the flight situation.
But this was not his fault.
No. But this is the story I'm telling is a testament to Quote's hospitality, which is great. Like I'm not bad mouthing this. This is great because Loso loved it.
Had Loso been late to the flight and there had been an issue, if it was the airline's fault, it wasn't Loso's fault.
Right.
If it had been Loso's fault, I'd have been like, I mean, because we had the same issue happen when Butter P a couple years ago, right? She missed her flight.
Yeah.
Butter P got in the vehicle and she drove herself, and we ain't paid for gas. We ain't pay for nothing.
Yeah, it's true.
Because she missed her flight.
True. But I was saying that as a testament, like that is true. Quote will take care of you. Yeah, I'm saying more than I probably would like to, but Quote got you.
On a couple of reasons, right? Not only because Loso, he didn't. For one, I appreciated his problem solving skills. He didn't come for us like, yo, this happened. What do I do? Loso was like, I'll be a little late. I'll be in an Uber. I'll be there. So now you've taken something off of our back, right? There's a fire. We putting out fires all day and all night.
All day.
So you done took something off of our back. You showing your initiative as an artist, and you getting here. We'll take care of that Uber.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because the last thing I would have wanted to worry about is, dang, how do we now get Loso 2 hours, an hour and a half away to where we at?
Yeah.
He made it so I didn't have to worry about that. And then he blazed. And then I think what also influenced this decision is what he did on that daggone stage.
He did. He killed it. He got there 10 minutes before he had to perform. And like he was the first artist up.
Wow.
He got there 10
because
minutes.
Of what happened. He literally got there about 10 or 15 minutes because of what happened with the airline. And he had to jump right off the stage cold. And he sparked that joint.
He killed it. He killed it.
He sparked it. And once again, I'll be honest with you. I'll tell this straight up. That was a Seagoss move. I'm not one who puts battle rappers on my deck. That's
Quote hates battle rappers. Quote will never book a battle rapper for an event.
I have a proven theory. Battle rappers don't make hits.
I mean, well, what's the name? Well,
there's only one. There's only one that I work with that makes hits for me right now.
Well, Saga or Street Hymns?
Saga.
Yeah.
Saga. Well, Street Hymns used to make hits all the time. I feel like hymns don't make hits as much anymore for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But Saga will make a good hit.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Super talented. So.
Oh yeah, but most lyricists that have the skill sets to be a battle rapper for whatever reason do not make hits. And if you don't make hits, that means folks ain't really checking for you. And so I ain't really,
Well, I mean, but the Four Horsemen, people are checking for it. Like,
well, and that's what Goss's point was.
Yeah.
That's what Goss's point was.
Loso sold like 20 tickets. He sold like 20 tickets.
Easily.
Yeah. So I shouts out to Loso in way more ways than one. He took care of his business. He got there cold. He got on stage and he lit our show on fire out the gate, setting the tone for everything else to come next. Salutes to you, my dude.
And that's an ideal.
I was wrong.
That's an ideal artist you want to work with in any way. Like someone who has that mindset and just understands, right? He delivered in every way. So
he called me the GOAT of promo. So you know that's my man. He said Domination was the best show he ever performed.
That's
his words, not mine. His words, not mine.
That's major.
We do be for real. We be hearing that more than not. We hear.
I mean, you know.
We hear that or not. That's what we, that's what we do, man. That's what we love to do, man. That's what we do. So anyway, that's Christian hip hop versus hip hop business dealings. And then I was listening to Jaguar Wright on that interview she did about a year
Listen,
ago.
I forgot
listen.
about her. I forgot about her.
Jaguar got I don't know.
She got stories on stories on stories of the mess.
Right. I don't know if all of them are true.
I don't know
But
if all
it's
were
a
true,
lot.
but she got stories.
It's a lot.
It gets messy.
I have seen her in person. I've seen the messy in person. So I lived in Philly for a long time. So I don't know.